8 Steps to Transform Small Dreams into Big Dreams. Dream bigger. Do you have large enough dreams? Bigger goals produce bigger outcomes. Check out these methods that can inspire you to dream bigger if you want to design a high-impact, meaningful existence. The meaning of dreaming bigger. Greater is a relative concept. It just means to be a little higher or bigger than you are right now. In other words, our expectations for the future are a little more optimistic. For instance, sometimes we fantasize about leaving our pointless employment. Then, having bigger dreams may entail putting more of an emphasis on landing the career we truly desire. Or, if our present goal is to earn enough money to support ourselves, we may set a higher bar by planning to live luxuriously or be able to take care of our extended families. Dreaming big doesn't necessarily imply aspiring to fame or wealth all of a sudden, although it could mean that for some of us. They simply call for us to aim a little higher. Goals and dreams are related, therefore, both require planning and need to be practical. Make your small dreams big dreams. I can tell you after going through this procedure that it might not occur all at once. It's acceptable to replace a tiny dream with a slightly larger one, then with a slightly larger one, and so on. Some of us could find it really uncomfortable to have enormous fantasies. Small changes might be all we can manage to bring about. You'll understand why after reading these forthcoming tips. 1. Big confidence is necessary for big dreams. Motivational speakers will advise you, among other things, that you must have faith in yourself if you want to accomplish significant goals. In fact, it can be difficult to dream large if we feel a little insecure about our self-worth, self-confidence, or self-esteem. Why did I earn that wonderful thing? We may ponder this. This is why gaining a little more self-confidence may be the first step towards creating a large dream. Try to recall instances when you overcame obstacles to complete a task you set out to complete. Look for instances where things worked out much better than you had anticipated. And seek out those who have the courage to dream big and accomplish more than what was expected of them as role models in real life or in the media. Remember this: if you're having trouble believing in your capacity to realize lofty goals, you are not inferior to anyone else. That implies that you deserve the same as everyone else. Recognize your worth and begin acting accordingly. 2. To dream big, you need overcoming failure fear. The anxiety is valid. Every time we set a lofty goal, we'll need to acquire new skills. That scares me. Failure is a possibility. That scares me. And it might alter our lives indefinitely. And is that frightening. This is why chasing large objectives frequently necessitates adopting a growth mindset, or the conviction that development and learning are more significant than achievement or the opinions of others. If we're undertaking difficult tasks, we will occasionally fail along the road. The objective is to undertake harder tasks, fail a little more frequently, and become more accustomed to failing in order to develop this competence. Failure may never truly feel wonderful, but with time and practice, it becomes less terrifying. 3. Overcoming success fear is a prerequisite for dreaming big. Everyone is fixated on people's fear of failing. But we don't think about whether we're terrified of success as much, or maybe more, of it. Success can mean various things to various people. It can entail feeling like the outcast in your family or circle of friends. It could entail taking on more responsibility than we'd want. Or, it could cause us to feel resentful toward other people or even become unsure about our own self-image. I'm not attempting to make you fear success' negative ramifications. I'm merely attempting to assist you in determining whether these worries are what keeps you from having great dreams. In all honesty, I worry more about success than failure. I've had lots of failures. I no longer find it to be a huge deal. But triumph? Who successful me would be is unknown to me. Would I have self-doubt in my own skin? I'm concerned I might. I urge you to spend some time contemplating success and attempting to change your definition of success to match you if you think that fear of success is keeping you from pursuing your lofty goals. Maybe the kind of success you want isn't millionaire status or celebrity status. In that case, look for clarity. What definition of success would you truly like to work toward? 4. Big dreams need mindful imagination. Let's assume that you have resolved some of the problems stopping you from having large ambitions and that you are now prepared to have big dreams and to set huge goals to attain them. Next, exercise your creativity. Start by picturing yourself in a variety of various situations, such as becoming an executive at a large corporation, running your own little business, living on a tropical island, touring the globe, or even cohabiting. Imagine a variety of ideas that you may not have considered previously. Try to remain conscious as you visualize, focusing on how your body feels in each scenario. Your brain actually begins to function as though these scenarios are your reality because you are imagining them to be so. Consider tuning into that sensation and recording any thoughts or feelings that surface. All of the material is helpful. The trick is to become attentively aware of what you really want. Is there one that feels better than the others as you consider various scenarios? Does living this life feel nice to you? Does living this life feel authentic? Does living this life feel like a big dream? Use this visualization exercise to determine which of your big ambitions are most appropriate. 5. Finding meaning is necessary for dreaming big. Sometimes it's because we haven't thoroughly examined what actually important to us, what gives our lives meaning, that we get caught pursuing little aspirations, or the wrong dreams. Big dreams with no purpose are useless. This is why I always find the typical aspiration of becoming a millionaire to be a little off-putting. What if the only way to get there is by trampling on and hurting other people? Does that give any meaning? Or what if all you desire is money to make people like you? Does that actually have any significance? What if your big desire is simply to afford expensive items? How significant is that? Now, I truly do believe that for certain people, being a millionaire can be a significant goal. People frequently find meaning in things like the urge to create something from nothing, provide for their families, or give back in some way to the community. Simply put, most people don't consider the important motivations behind their wants. So, what factors contribute to having dreams that matter more? Here are a few things that provide us with a sense of purpose. Positive interpersonal relationships, warm, reliable connections with others. Self-acceptance. Maintaining an optimistic outlook on oneself. Autonomy. Having the ability to decide and control one's own activities. Ecological mastery. The conviction that one can alter their situation. Personal development. The capacity to change and advance as a person. Purpose in life. A sense of purpose and direction in life. Try to keep these factors in mind when you dream big to make sure your aspirations are relevant to you and will motivate you to take action. 6. Setting effective goals is necessary for dreaming big. Dreams that are huge, audacious, and important are admirable. However, if we don't set goals and take action, these dreams might only ever exist in our heads. So once you've identified your great ambition, start thinking practically. Determine the steps necessary to make it a reality. Big dreams are actually just objectives, so it could be beneficial to check that your goals are SMART, which basically indicates that they are simpler to accomplish. Specific, meaningful, achievable, realistic, and trackable objectives are SMART goals. Therefore, consider these inquiries concerning your lofty goals. 1. Are you able to relate to this dream? 2. Is this dream feasible in light of your constraints or obligations? 3. Do you remember this dream clearly, precisely, and specifically? 4. Is your idea realistic given its details provided you follow X, Y, and Z steps? 5. Is it possible to track your progress toward your goal? Your ability to see the steps necessary to reach your goal will improve once your dream is crystal apparent to you. Additionally, by keeping note of these actions, you'll be able to gauge your development more accurately. Following goal-setting techniques is essential for achieving our lofty aspirations because of this. 7. Taking action is necessary for dreaming big. What is the first step you can take to start realizing your dream? The hardest part is frequently beginning. So, try to find one small thing you can do today to move you in the direction you want to go. It can be useful to have some implementation intentions prepared in case you run into trouble getting to your action. Implementation intentions are merely contingency plans for what you'll do if plan A doesn't work out. Setting up implementation intentions can make it simpler for us to put our large goals into action. For instance, we can promise ourselves that if I am unable to finish a task at time X, I will finish it at time Y. Or, I'll attempt Y strategy if X strategy succeeds. In essence, it's just a way to make sure we have other options to choose from when pursuing our great aspirations. In this manner, even if the initial route we take is impassable, we can still reach our goal. 8. Dreaming big necessitates appreciating the process. When we have lofty goals, we could become so consumed with achieving them that we lose sight of the fun that can be had along the way. These fantasies can be very motivating, and we may even picture a life or a future that is completely different from anything we have ever experienced. But we need to be careful not to become overly focused on the eventual result. Having doubts about our ability to achieve our goals only taints the experience. Try to concentrate instead on the enjoyable aspects of the procedure. Even tiny changes are significant and worthy of celebration because they show that you are actively creating a better future for yourself, gradually taking control of your life, and methodically creating a new reality. Even if we don't end up accomplishing the main goal, working toward our aspirations can improve our well-being if they have real importance to us. Pursuing worthwhile objectives makes progress easier, makes us happier, and may eventually lead to an upward spiral of well-being. We might actually gain more from the process than the result. In order to achieve your goals, you should choose and value the strategies and actions you will use.